Hey folks, welcome to Play Branson, where you get to know Branson's entertainers better. My name's Chris Meyer, and I am here today with my co-host, Haley Westridge.
How are you today?
I'm awesome.
Good.
How are you doing?
Doing great.
Yeah.
Got an awesome guest with us today, so we're super excited.
Yes. And hopefully you won't disappear.
I hope not. That would be really bad.
Yeah.
So we got to interview him on his tour bus before, but never like in studio. So it's like the official interview now.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. And you know, he's one of three, or well, really about four magicians in Branson, but he's kind of got this little edge to him, and I like that.
Yeah.
And I've heard lots of great stuff about his show.
Oh, absolutely.
So anyway, I have some magic facts.
Okay.
The most magic tricks performed in 1 minute is 27 tricks by a magician in the UK.
Really?
Yes. The highest paid magician. Who do you think that is?
Probably someone in Vegas.
It is.
Okay.
David Copperfield.
Yep.
Now, David actually performed for a short amount of time in Branson here
Really?
over at Andy Williams years
Okay.
ago. And then the farthest card toss, I guess maybe that's by a magician, how they're doing
Right.
that. 216 feet.
Oh my goodness.
That's a long
Yeah,
ways. I don't think I could
Nope.
probably throw it 10 feet. So anyway, we'll be back in just a moment with
Reza.
There are so many things to do in Branson. You need help planning and booking all your fun. You need iBranson.com. You can find everything Branson has to offer from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. You can even buy tickets online or talk to one of their friendly Branson travel specialists. There's no sales pitches, no delivery fees, no service fees, and no waiting. It's fast and easy. Find your fun at iBranson.com. Do it all online or call 877-ENTERTAIN. That's 877-368-3782. iBranson.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to Play Branson, and today we have Reza. Hey, good to have you here.
Hey, good to be here.
So,
Good to be back here.
yes, I'm not going to disappear though, right?
Not this time.
Not this time.
Next
Aw,
time.
man.
We're going to build up to that.
So it's been a while since you've been on the show, and when we did the show last time, I was actually on your tour bus, which was pretty darn cool, but not the studio. So, and it's been a while, so I really want to go back and give people your history again, because like you've been doing this a long time, and you're really young still. So kind of tell people how you got into this business.
Yeah, well, Branson is where it all started for me. I'm from Brookings, South Dakota originally, so it's a place that's just far enough away that it's a special trip, but it's close enough that Branson's the destination. That's where you go. And so as a family, my parents, or as a kid, my parents would bring me on family vacations here to Branson, and it would be inspiring. You know, I'd see the magic shows especially, and I'd go home and I kind of created this dream that one day I wanted to be on that stage. And literally, once things started coming into place career-wise, I came back to Branson as the place kind of where all the memories started, where all the inspiration began, and now full circle, be able to stand on the stage, look at the audiences, and see the same situation that I had.
Yeah.
You know, a kid being inspired to do something cool, and then coming up after the show, and waiting in line to talk to me, and I was the kid that was waiting in line to talk to the performer. And so it's a really special thing for me, especially being back in Branson.
Wow.
So did you come from like a performing family?
No, I'm actually an only child,
Okay.
which is rare. And I had this magic kit that I got when I was a kid, and so I didn't have any brothers and sisters, so I would just perform for my parents and my parents' friends.
Right.
And it's kind of worked its way in the sense that mentors kind of popped up in my life, like Dave Hamner, who's a wonderful performer, still has an amazing show here in town, and that was a show that I saw when I came here as a kid, one of the shows, and so Dave would kind of take me under his wing, so to speak, and he would kind of help me and recognize that. But no, I didn't have a performing family. I just had supportive parents and some really cool mentors.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you, if my information here is correct, you kind of started at 7 being inspired, but then by 14, you start performing. Is that right?
Something cool happened. Those mentors kind of opened some doors, and for a summer I came to Branson and I performed as first an opening act in a show here in town, and then eventually after about a month or so they said, how about you perform in the show? And they gave me a few minutes, but it was in the show, so it was even more special. And then eventually a year or two after that we had our own show here in Branson for a short run, and that was all between the ages of 14, 15, 16, right in there.
That's pretty darn young, man.
It is. It was definitely a head start it was an opportunity to try and find myself on stage, who that person is. Am I funny? Am I serious? Is it a combination? And all at the time when audiences are more forgiving. If you're an opening act or just a couple minutes in the show, or even just a kid, people are supportive and they're more, I don't know if forgiving is the right word or not, but as an adult, if you come out and go out on stage, there's an expectation. But as a kid, it allowed me to do. It was 3 shows a day. I had a morning show, a matinee, and an evening show. That was a part of 6 days a week for an entire summer. So when it started to when it ended, I was a whole different person.
Right.
And that's what allowed me to really hone it and figure it out, and then hit the ground running after that.
Yeah, but you did stuff outside of Branson as well.
Yeah, at that point, I left, and the opportunities presented themselves, and then other opportunities started coming about in other places, and so I started touring. I had my group of friends who were supportive of that, back home in South Dakota. So we'd hit the road in the Midwest, and in the about 3-state region, we'd go rent performing arts centers in high schools, just small time. But that was the next step, is getting out there. And it was like a band. When you're a band, you got music, but no one's there to listen to it yet. So you have to go. Now it's a lot easier, a lot different. You just put something out on YouTube, for example. YouTube didn't exist at that time. I know it's crazy to think about a time before all that stuff, but it didn't. So we had to go put posters up. We had to just guerrilla marketing. And again, that was good for me. It was hard, very, very hard, and trying to learn your way at that age isn't easy, but it's the struggles that I think you grow from. And so then when I eventually came back to Branson, I had all of that understanding, both of the infrastructure of what Branson is, which is very different than anywhere else in the world.
That's right.
And it could be good or bad for a performer. You have to understand it. But I had a little bit of that understanding, plus experience other places. And those are the puzzle pieces that I think were really beneficial to me.
Yep.
So what drew you back to Branson? Was it just, the performing, obviously.
Yeah.
But what else do you like about the Branson area?
Well, I love Branson for a lot of reasons. One of them is it allows me to have a normal life a little bit. We were doing, when I came here, we were doing about 200 shows or dates a year that we're away from home.
That's a long time.
In another, with another pillow, another bed, another environment, around other people, and you lose a sense of being grounded. Right. So Branson allowed me to build a home here, in the sense of an actual house, but also in the sense of what is home to most people, and be able to do a show, do what I love, have millions and millions of people come to Branson rather than me going to different cities, and then after the show, go home.
Exactly.
And then feel more grounded, so I can feel more inspired, create more. And then it was that balance. It was striking the balance of how much to be in Branson versus how much to be on tour. And it's just a really cool thing right now, because when I go on tour, I always look forward to coming back to Branson, and then when we finish a run in Branson, we're always excited to hit the road.
Right.
And that's the cool balance, and that's
Absolutely.
what Branson is to me.
But Reza is another good example, and I keep talking about this on the show, of a young entertainer that has made Branson their home and performs here, but also goes other places and performs as well. And so I'm starting to see this trend of younger performers making it their home. They can have a normal life, so to say, but they still can do their craft.
Right, exactly.
It's beautiful. It's like everything you could hope for, and some find it in Vegas, and some find it in other places. But for myself, it's definitely here, and for everyone else that you see, billboards and all this, it's a choice to come to Branson, and it's for a lot of really good reasons.
So how many years have you had your own show in Branson now?
I believe this is our 6th season.
Wow.
My own show, I started with a show called Revolutionist when I first came back to town. And so I was a part of that show, and then I also toured much more than I do now. And so that we ran for 2 seasons. It was an ensemble concept, 5 different performers, each having their own specialty in magic. I was the illusionist, and then there was an escape artist and a close-up artist and so forth. So that wasn't my own brand, but after those 2 seasons ran their course, an opportunity presented itself at the Starlight, and that was an amazing season, which is now, like a lot of amazing theaters in town, become something different, and that's become a museum. So when that took place, I moved to where I am now, the Branson Famous Theater, and that's been my home since.
Yep. Okay, we're going to stop right there. We're going to talk more about the show here in just a moment, so stay tuned.
I brought my friend. Reza.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Nice to meet you, Reza.
Watch.
A double stump.
Show it to everyone. In fact, hold it up. And it's an amazing trick, and you killed us. You just killed us. Beautiful.
Reza!
Great trick, Reza. Great trick, man.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show, and we are today here with Reza. And Reza, we just kind of got to your current state, and so you're at the Branson Famous Theater,
Branson Famous Theater
on 165. And so, if someone's never seen your show, kind of walk us through it.
It's a magic show for people who love magic and hate magic, because it's not just about the magic or the tricks. It's a whole experience. It's as much about the involvement with the crowd. I share a lot of stories. There's a lot of humor, a lot of comedy, a lot of audience involvement. So the magic is more just a byproduct of the show itself. So it's different in that sense. It's also more like a rock concert meets a magic show.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, because
I like that.
I want to do something different. And magic is for years or centuries kind of been this hokey art form with usually revolving around things that aren't relatable. It might be a weird looking box or a sword that you'd only see with Stage of the Magician. So I want to start doing magic with things that people can relate to. So it's motorcycles, helicopters, spray paint, power tools. At one point I take a buzzsaw and run it through someone's neck, of course, without anything bad happening all the time. Stuff like that. So I took that gritty industrial kind of feel with magic. I combined it with music that I love to listen to. And interestingly enough, that's one of the most common things that people say after a show is, I love the music. It's so different than everything else in Branson. The lighting, it's like a rock concert in terms of lighting, the video walls. If you go to a concert, you expect those things, but a magic show, you don't. And so when you see that, it can move you. It's really cool.
And I've seen the show a couple of times, and I mean, just every time you go back, it really does keep you on the edge of your seat because it's always changing. There's so much excitement and energy going on. It's fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when do you perform this show? A certain date, certain times, or does it just vary? Or
it varies throughout the year, again with our touring schedule. And so right now during the summer, when we're filming this, it's every single day. When this airs, it might be in the fall. Our schedule changes. We go from we do both matinees and evening shows. We go from a season during like this time of year, every single day, to points in the year where it's just weekends.
Okay.
And then back during the holidays, we come in strong again and have shows pretty much every day, only with a couple pockets. Yeah. So usually when the families are here, that's when we're performing the most.
Right, yeah. And so that's great, and that makes a lot of sense. Now, you have also been on a lot of reality shows, on a lot of TV shows, and so maybe highlight some of those for us.
Yeah, I mean, that's been a really cool thing for me to be able to take magic from a live audience and then put it onto a TV screen that goes all over the world. And we had some viral videos on YouTube, which propelled some of the TV appearances. Actually, most every TV appearance I've done, it's usually been a phone call that says, hey, we saw this video that you did this. Can you come do that here? And so that's normally how it goes. And then once a couple of those start happening, more and more start happening. So about 4 or 5 years ago, we had a video go viral, and we got a call from this television show in Japan. So we want to come. And actually, they wanted me to come to Japan. It didn't work scheduling wise, and so I was basically turning it down, even though I didn't want to. And they said, no, we're going to come there then. So they came to my hometown in South Dakota, and they filmed this, and I thought, well, this won't go anywhere. It had 20 million viewers on its first episode. And that's like, I don't know the exact ratings of like America's Got Talent, but I think it's somewhere around double an average episode, something like that. So a lot of viewers. So since then, we've had 3 different network TV appearances in Japan. It's propelled things that we've done a lot of U.S. TV as well, reality shows. We're on the final season of Duck Dynasty.
There you go.
Which is cool. We were on, did Penn and Teller Fool Us, another great show. And those are cool too because a lot of those shows air over and over different times, and so when you're not expecting them.
I remember watching Duck Dynasty in our living room. My sister yelled, she's like, Haley, come in here. And you were on there and we're like, oh my gosh, we know him. Cool thing.
It's cool. So, and I might get caught off guard. I've been flipping through channels before, not expecting to see it, you know, because not the original air date. It's a rerun, and then it's like, oh, there it is. And the other day I was on Late Night with Carson Daly. They were showing a clip. I didn't even know I was on the show. They were showing a clip of Fool Us. And so those kinds of things are kind of cool,
Well, and you know, I always tell people that television is very powerful. And I think a lot of times people discount television now because of the internet. But, I mean, television is very impactful. And it can
people can connect with you in a different way. So after the show, again, I love meeting the audiences after the show. It's a big thing for me. I listen to what they say, and I change the show based on that, or, you know, do things because of that. And one thing I keep hearing is, I saw you on, you know, a TV show. And so we've had an opportunity to connect that way through the screen. And then now they can come see the live show, and it's a conduit, you know, for the art, and it's helped propel what I do and get in front of more people. So I'm very thankful for that.
So do you have a favorite trick that you do?
I do, but it changes all the time. Usually my favorite trick is whatever is the newest illusion I put in the show, because I'm still changing it, and I'm still listening to the crowd even more so than everything else. And I love the reactions. Like one that we put in the show sort of recently is where I get cut in half by doing it a different way, where usually it's very sheltered and shielded by, you know, a lot of things we get cut in half or cut. And so this, we start with it covered only to kind of do a big reveal later, where we take the boxes off and allow you to see me literally cut in half and then pull me across the stage. So feet are here, head's over here, and it catches people off guard. And so it's an opportunity too, where I'm laying on this table when it happens, and so I'm just in the perfect point to watch the audience. And they think that they're watching the show, and they are. That's their show. But for me, my show is watching them. So my favorite illusions are actually the ones that pull those moments from the crowd. I'm just sitting there watching them and hear them and just see their jaw drop. That's what's cool for me.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Here's the deal, folks. Go see Reza's show. It's over at the Branson Famous Theater on Highway 165. You can go to ibranson.com and check out the schedule, because it does change based on the time of year. So whenever you're watching this, he has different schedules. And also, hey, if you see Reza in your hometown, go check him out there as well, because he does tour. And man, it's been great having you here today. We appreciate you coming.
Thank you so much. I love chatting with you guys.
So, folks, we'll be back in just a minute. Folks, welcome back to Play Branson. We just talked to Reza, and that was great.
He's always so much fun.
He is, and great performer, just nice guy.
Oh, yes,
I mean,
for sure.
I've bumped into him different places, and he's always just
super friendly.
Super friendly, absolutely. You know, one of the things is, and of course, the focus of this show is always theaters and shows, but we also like to highlight other things in Branson. And one of the things that I want to highlight today is really our outdoor activities. And Branson is a perfect place if you want to do outdoor things. And so, of course, we have 3 lakes. We have Table Rock Lake that has over 800 miles of shoreline alone. And so you can parasail, you can jet ski, you can fish, you can ski, you can wakeboard, you can wake surf, you can go to Moonshine Beach. And so there's all these outdoor lake activities. You can go to Lake Taneycomo and fish down there.
Yes.
Lots of fish there as well. And I'm not a fisherman.
Really?
No.
I mean, I like to fish.
I'm not that patient. I'm just not that patient. But besides that, a lot of people now are kayaking.
Yeah.
And
that's kind of the new craze now.
I actually kayaked on Taneycomo the other day, and it was an awesome experience.
Be really relaxing.
Oh my goodness. And you go up in those little coves, and the water's nice and cool, and just seeing, the animals, and just, it was great. And so there's hiking trails all around here. Of course, and then outdoor activities with golf.
Yes.
Tons of golf. So if you're thinking, I'm not, maybe I'm not in the show thing, so I'm not going to Branson, you need to come here, even if you're just you want to do outdoor activities.
Right. There's so much.
And then you're going to be like, hey, I want to go into town and I want to do all that stuff.
For sure.
Yes. Okay. Who is our guest next week?
We've got David Brooks with us from Raiding the Country Vault.
And you know him pretty well.
I do. He's one of my good friends. So
He's
excited to have him
one
on
of
the
your good
show.
friends. So yeah, he finally made the cut. So anyway, he will be next week. And so here's the deal. If you're thinking about going to Reza or any Branson show, go to ibranson.com. You can book your entire Branson vacation there. You can get your lodging, your shows, your attraction. You can even buy dining vouchers, and they offer deals like every month. So check them out. Tell them we sent you here from Play Branson. And folks, thanks for watching. We'll be back next week.